Alrighty, so today we are going to be looking at the best team builds as well as other setups for LR NAMEK Goku and LR NAMEK Full Power Frieza here. Very anticipated EZAs. This video is not going to be breaking down how good they are, how bad they are. That has nothing to do with what we're going to be talking about today. I'm just simply going to be providing you some setups for teams that you could use to make them look good and maybe get them to their full potential and just run them in difficult content, right? So that is the aim of today's video. If you do have them, congrats, but if not, good news for you. They are on the anniversary banners, so you potentially maybe had them at 55%, maybe you have 2 copies now, or you've had them rainbowed for years like me. So let's go ahead and get started by EZAing the characters. Quick overview, they look pretty good, but there seems to be a little bit of disappointment for the characters, but we will find out, right? So quickly, we will just use some Kais, get these guys up to SA25 and all that fun stuff, and I will be right back. Okay, so starting off here, we have the obvious one for one of the better team builds for this character, and that is going to be the Tech Vegito leader skill, the highest potential stat buff that you can get on this guy. He is a pure Saiyan, as well as being an Earthbred fighter or a warrior that protects Earth, I believe, as well. So this setup is going to be very good for them because they can link up with a ton of different characters and work efficiently. If you want to link them up with the Tech Gogeta after they are transformed, that is going to work very well. If you want to link them up with Tech Vegito, that's going to work very well in the base form, in the Vegeta form, and the Vegito form, going to all work fine. Now, when it comes to team composition here, we have slot 1s with Beast Gohan and AGL UI Goku. AGL UI Goku can be a little bit sketchy at times, but in most content, it should work out just fine for you. Then hopefully by the time you get to that point, NAMEK Goku can sort of stack up, be where he needs to be and stuff like that. This team has plenty of slot 1 potential, plenty of slot 2 potential, and you're going to be able to sort of run this character in between multiple rotations and use them accordingly. So this is going to be the first team I want to look at here. The Tech Vegito team. This one, like whenever there's a pure Saiyan, a Super Saiyan, you know, like any character that fits on the Vegito leader skill, for now, as of the time when I'm recording this video, this is going to be the team that you probably want to run them on, just based on the statistical spread alone. Let's go ahead and move on to the second build. Something I guess I should probably mention before we move on is that you have alternatives on this setup. If you want to take UI Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Goku off, you could potentially look around as well. Characters like Broly are going to fit on the leader skill. This Tech Broly in Evolution Blue Vegeta, STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, STR Vegito, right? Evo Ken. The Super Saiyan 4s when they potentially get their EZA. This Vegeta from the Kid Buu fight, right? He is an extremely good EZA. Physical Gogeta. There are a ton of different alternatives for this specific setup that are going to work out very well. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so alternatively, another setup that you could run for NAMEK Goku is going to be the Super Saiyan Trio lead. This is still a very good leader skill. Just does not have the statistical spread that the Tech Vegito one has. So you guys can see looking here, we have basically the same team really, but instead of using, who was the other one? It was like UI Goku. We sort of subbed him out and put like STR Family Kamehameha Gohan here. This team has really good synergy, Super Saiyans everywhere, LRs everywhere. You're going to have support in different places. This team is going to work very, very well. So when it comes to alternatives, we can just filter this out by the leader skill. We are taking advantage of All Out Struggle, Power of Wishes, as well as Super Saiyans. So a bunch of different options here. If you want to take out some of the characters, let's just say you don't have Vegito and you have this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you can do that. If you don't have Vegito, you have Orange Piccolo, you could potentially use him if there's a Bond to Master Disciple unit on the team. You could run Evolution Blue Vegeta, you could run the other Super Saiyan trio, STR Vegito again, you could bring Bulma, Evolution Blue Vegeta, Evo Ken, the Broly trio. If you have a Rainbow Orb Changer, it could consistently get 7 orbs, not going to be easy. Physical Gogeta is still here. When it comes to, are there any Year 7 EZAs on here? There are not. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. But for now, I think those are basically all the alternatives. If you need like short form burst content, you could do like Tech Zamasu. He's going to work out just fine for you. If you want to run like a Super Saiyan 4 rotation with this guy and the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you can, but it is going to be a bit sketchy. This guy potentially is going to be getting a Super EZA, so he'd work out on this team. You have Tech Broly that you could run with AGL Broly up here. If you have Prime Battle Goku, sometimes he can work, right? So a lot of different options here. Good thing is as well, what's it called? Goku and Frieza LR is more than likely going to be here as well. So that's going to work out very well. I like the setup a lot. Let's go ahead and move on to the last one for Goku. I'm just going to put this at 4 here because this is the Kamehameha team. Are you guys noticing a trend that like all of the best characters in the game are all just like on the same teams right now? So Kamehameha, you guys are seeing one character that I'm missing from this category in a major way is Tech Ultra Instinct Goku. So he's a guy that you can run on a lot of these teams as well. But look at the plethora of options that we have for characters that are going to work well, right? AGL UI Goku. We have the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right here on the bottom. The Tech Gods are going to more than likely be EZAing soon. The Int Gohan's probably going to Super EZA. STR Vegito, Evo Ken, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, right? A lot of crazy options on this team. NAMEK GOKU himself, I almost forgot to put him on the team. Just a lot of different sixth options that you can use, and the team is going to work well. There's going to be synergy. Right now, the game is at a very Super Saiyan heavy sort of setup, where there's just a lot of really good characters they just happen to be in like Super Saiyan form, right? So that does work out very well. If this Kaioken Goku EZA is crazy, you could put him on the team. Like we'll just slap him on the team for the sake of discussion right now. So with this NAMEK GOKU in specific, you just have a lot of different Super Saiyan based setups, Kamehameha based setups, because really this guy's leader skill is not very good. It's Super Saiyans and Legendary Existence to 180. So Super Saiyans 180 isn't bad. So like, I guess you could just look at like Super Saiyans, but I think if you're going to run Super Saiyans, you're better off running this just because you have that extra 200% that Goku doesn't have access to. So I think that's too important to run like 2 of him. And I don't think this is a character you really want to be running 2 of anyway, to be honest with you, just kind of the way that the kit has worked out. So there you guys have it for NAMEK GOKU. Let's go ahead and move on to FRIEZA. There's not going to be as many for this guy. Okay, so for FRIEZA, one of the team builds that we are going to be looking at is not quite, we're not even going to be looking at it in this video actually, because it's just right now it's not ready to go, and that is going to be the successors category. So this team that you're looking at on the screen clearly is not the successors category. So we'll have to see who's leading that and all of that fun stuff before we start talking about it, but that team does have a little bit of potential. So what I could do is pull up the category here. If we go over here, it's like while you're looking at the screen, we'll talk about this team here in a moment, but I just want to talk about successors before we move on. If we go over here, you guys can see we have, that's not successors. So Vegito's on it. That's cool. Like, it doesn't really matter. That's just not like what we're looking for. But this is like where a lot of like Vegeta characters are and some of the Frieza characters are. It's just like you would run Frieza like with the Goku and Frieza that's potentially coming out. And I just don't know if this is like a setup for him, but it is going to be a new category where he's going to have access to a 220% lead. So like maybe you run him next to this AGL Frieza, right? Or like maybe it's tough, right? Like an EZA for this Golden Frieza at some point, who knows? But this is a very tricky category, and I don't know if I'm sure that, like, I don't think, I'm pretty sure that this is just not a setup that you really want to run with him. Like Tech Beerus is good, but this just right now doesn't really have much leg to, or like much much footing to it. So we'll see. But I just want to at least acknowledge that this is a new team that's going to be coming. But let's look at the other one here if we go back. And that is going to be the Transformation Boost team. So this is going to be led by Buhan. You could run it with AGL Broly. This team has a slew of leaders. So if you have Daima Goku on this account, I do not, but that is okay. We have Broly, we have Buhan, right? So those 3 are like the main leaders for this team. And I think that they're right now, there's just a really like solid set of characters where you could run 2 rotations that'll work pretty well together, right? Like Janemba and Buhan will work just fine. And then like another Buhan with Kid Buu, I think could also work out pretty well. Or what you could do is rotate full power Frieza with one of the Janembas. I think physical Janemba's a good linking partner because the common denominator on this team, like so what do you, when you look at this team, like what's the link that comes to mind, right? Like what's the commonality here? It's big bad bosses. So this is more of a big bad bosses setup team. I think one thing that could potentially be your enemy when you were looking at a team like this could potentially be the friend system, because Buhans aren't just like everywhere because he came out in like the stay for anniversary period. So looking at Transformation Boost, this category is very wide though. There's a lot of different potential builds you could go with, but I wanted to focus on the big bad bosses link, so Frieza is always going to be having that. So that does help out a decent bit. So this is going to be the first build that we have here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so for the last build, I had to hop over to the private server in order to show the last setup that I want to talk about today, and that is going to be the Planetary Destruction / Revenge / Uncontrollable Power setup. You guys can see here, lots of options on this category. That's why they all say new. Like I said, we are on the private server, so that is going to answer that. But lots of good characters here that you could potentially run. Again, what I wanted to do was kind of do like a more of a big bad bosses oriented setup here, but you could obviously like mix and match the way that you want to go. If we got to unselect one of these characters here, you guys can see there are a lot of really good options on this team. Kind of scrolling through it, right? Buhan on this team, all the Brolys are on this team, and Fat Buu is on this team. Very, very good setup. So this is sort of the last one that I wanted to talk about. Physical Janemba again being on here. Lots and lots of good options. So there you guys go. Those are going to be the best team builds for NAMEK GOKU and FRIEZA. Didn't want to do too many and like spam all of their categories. I just think it's like 2 to 3 sort of respectable builds would be more than enough to suffice for what we need right now. Let me know down below what you guys think of the EZAs for these specific characters. Do you think they're good enough? Do you think they're bad enough? I didn't want to talk about that in this video, but you can let me know in the comments what you think. So like I said, let me know down below. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.